The other day I was sitting up in bed after putting a book down, had my lamp on, and my shadow plastered across the wall. And I took a moment to look at it, did what most people would do in the face of having a shadow of theirs near them, started messing around and watching it move about as my body moved. But then I looked at it a bit deeper, and I sort of came to a realization that the way I saw my own shadow is sort of like how we see other people's lives from a third person perspective. You know, you see someone across the street and they're smiling. You think, oh, they're happy, because that's what a smile usually means. But that person smiling is simply just what you've seen, just a person smiling. Sometimes it's a mask that they're putting out to the world so they seem happy when they're really struggling. It could be anything, you know. All you get when you see someone do something from a third person perspective is a silhouette of the real situation they're going through. It's just a surface level overview of what's going on. So you see someone smile, simply all you've seen is someone smile. It's not until you actually have a conversation with a person, you actually communicate, you talk about what's going on in your life, that you get the context colored in to the outline that you've seen. That's when you know the meaning behind the smile, the meaning behind the tears, the meaning behind the erratic behavior that you're not used to from them. It's when you communicate and you open up to these people that you truly start to get some context and to start to see the details behind the dark shadow, the dark overview of their life, you know? It's like if you had a shadow and bit by bit you started to like lower the light, and more of the shadow like disappears and it becomes lighter and lighter until you can actually see the wall behind it. And I know that doesn't scientifically hold up incredibly well, but just imagine that for me, because it makes sense to me, and I hope that does make sense to you. So yeah, what was the point of this realization? What did this help me realize randomly at 3 a.m. at night, that when you see a person on the street, even when you see your friends out and about, you've just got a silhouette of what's going on in their life? What did it help me realize? What was the point of me telling you why people's lives are a bit like shadows? I'm sure you can think of a time, someone you cared about, a friend, a cousin, a brother, your parent, anyone that you cared about, seemed to be doing just fine. Maybe not even fine, maybe amazing. Bouncing off the walls, massive smiles, always down for a good time. And some time passes, and then you actually end up having a conversation where they admit to you that, yeah, I might have seemed happy, but I wasn't doing as well as I was letting on. I was putting across this facade so that you all saw me as happy and didn't see that I was struggling, because I didn't want you to think I was going through a rough time. And that is a hard thing to realize, because you start to question, damn, this person I care so much about didn't even feel comfortable opening up to me. And so this realization that life, or what you see of someone's life before the conversation is had, is a silhouette, an overview, surface level, like a shadow, helped me realize is that if you care about someone and you suspect they might be going through a rough time, please go and talk to them. Please. You don't know how much you could help them by having that conversation until you actually have that conversation. As a friend, be compassionate, be comforting, be supportive, so that just in case they need to at some point through your friendship, and there will come a point in every friendship where one of the parties of the friend group is going to go through hardship, because life is full of it, and it's impossible for one person, especially multiple people, to avoid hardship their entire life. So when that point does come, when the hardship is experienced, that the person that needs to can speak up, can communicate what they're feeling, can communicate if they're struggling, can colour in the silhouette with the context for the others in the group, or just for the other person if they're only speaking to one other person, so that they can help them through the struggle. You know, I'm sure you want to be there for your friends, and this is how you do it. You do it by addressing concerns that you may have for them, having hard conversations with them, helping them through their emotional struggles, right? Just sit down and have that conversation with them, because ultimately, at the end of the day, it's going to help them process whatever pain, whatever struggle they're going through. It's going to help them solve it, knowing that they've got a support system behind them. And if you want to succeed, that's going to help you get there. Solving problems with people you care about makes you feel invincible. Once you solve one, you've got the proof that you can solve more. And once you've done it with someone that you care about, you know they'll be there for every other issue that you may face, especially if you're like locked in as good friends. And hey, what's succeeding for if you can't share it with someone you care about, right? So next time you're not sure if someone's having a good time or going through something, go up to them, have that conversation, color in the silhouette with the context. And if they are struggling, help them through it. Because, hey, that's your friend we're talking about, right? That's all on the topic of shadows and how sometimes they're a bit like an overview of someone else's life from a third person perspective. If it helped, subscribe to the channel. I'll be starting to upload more videos on things I realize, things I can help you with. And yeah, if you did enjoy, leave a like as always, and I'll see you in another video. Peace out.